I've been needing to find a new apartment, which has not been easy with credit as bad as mine. Luckily, I found cosigning.com. They connected me with a cosigner who helped me get my dream apartment for me and my dog. I just paid a small fee and was able to move in fast. Get the cosigner you need for the apartment you want. Check out cosigning.com today.
I was not expecting this on my 2025 January bingo card today. I'm sorry. We got to go ahead and play a little bit of Snoop. And I got to put my MAGA hat back on. We got to put it back on. You got me losing control, and I don't even know. I don't know how much of that Snoop song we can play, but yeah, I'm happy to see that tonight Snoop chose to be a man and not be a follower. Last time I checked, Snoop was an American, born in Long Beach, California, 1971. Where's Long Beach located? Where's California located? In the United States. He's not from Africa. He's not from Blacklandia. He's not from some other magical place that you guys want to make up in your minds. He's from the United States of America. When you say America first, you're talking about Americans first. Americans like Snoop Dogg. Now, we've come a long way. That's why the question is he a sellout or is he a grifter? But he's had his good reasons. And I'll show you what they are. We'll go over a couple of them. We came a long way from this.
If y'all do vote for him, y'all some stupid motherfuckers. I'm saying that to y'all. And this punk motherfucker don't care. Don't vote for that. Please don't. Look what he do. He just don't give a fuck. Y'all, honest, blue-collar, hard-working people and suffer. So if he don't care about y'all, really don't give a fuck about us. So fuck him too. Fuck everybody down with Donald Trump. I said he gets Snoop Dogg.
I guess, you know, if you take him for his for face value, take him for his word, he basically said he has to go fuck himself, which that is something that is common nowadays. You know, a lot of people got to eat their words. You have to eat your words sometime, and life will show you that you'll end up doing things you said you would never do. So a good rule of thumb is to never say never, because you never know where you're going to be in the future. Now, Snoop Dogg was initially founded by a record label called Death Row. One of the original founders of Death Row is a man by the name of Harry O. The only reason I know Harry O is because him and my uncle and Harry O came to California at the same time. They were business partners for many years, and him and Harry O both were given life sentences in prison. My uncle was able to get out on a technicality a few years ago after doing 24 years. Harry O did, I believe he did over 30. The only reason he got out is because Donald J. Trump commuted his sentence of Death Row Record co-founder Michael Harry O. Harris. Without Harry O, there would be no Death Row. Without Death Row, there would be no Snoop Dogg. Or maybe somebody else would have founded Snoop Dogg, but you got to think about it. Snoop is a gang member from California, from Long Beach. And had he not been pulled out of the hood and out of that lifestyle, he probably would not have still been alive. Most people I know growing up in LA, that's how a lot of my friends died. That's how a lot of people I know are in prison forever. It's all through gangbanging. And it's crazy that people still push gangbanging, but it's just a part of the California culture, and it's an unfortunate, sad part of the culture. However, Snoop literally went against every black voice, every gay voice, every Trump hater in California when he took this chance to perform at Trump's crypto ball event. Now, apparently crypto.com is throwing an event. Rick Ross is there, another rapper. There's other, it's not just Snoop Dogg only, but I mean, he's doing a really good job. Take 4B. Amazing. So back on up. Give me the microphone first. You know what's sad is that I don't tolerate the Trump hate, especially from somebody that I can't clearly articulate to me why they hate this man that they've never met. Snoop has met him. Snoop actually did the Trump roast.
I wish I had your money. But for that, you need a 20-year-old in a divorce lawyer. Now, I may not have his paper, but I got twice the deal, and you can believe that. Now, don't say he wants to run for president and move on into the White House. Why not? It wouldn't be the first time he pushed the black family out there home.
You know, and it's funny. It's all fair in love and war. And this is before Trump was president. This is before he even ran for president, before he even thought about it. All these people were friends. Snoop was not anti-Trump. Trump has more NAACP awards than Rosa Parks and Jesse Jackson. They all actually bowed to Trump and thanked him for all of his work and all of his donations and everything he ever did for them. But to see Snoop from California, where he lives, go against the majority of California, because you got to think about it. California is a Democrat stronghold. The base of the Democrat stronghold in California is the gay community and the black community. As of now, 2025, the gay community completely controls the black community. They tell the black community what to do, who to be mad at, what to be outraged about. They own them. But apparently that wasn't strong enough to stop Snoop from performing at a crypto event. Also, it didn't stop Rick Ross, Soulja Boy, Nelly, the rapper Nelly from St. Louis is performing at the inauguration ball. So you got to understand, the only people that are still claiming to be Democrats or claiming to be anti-Trump, anti-conservatives, because you got to think about it, Snoop is black. You think he want his sons to be gay? No. Would he tolerate his sons being gay? No. Does Snoop date trans women? No. So technically, he's no longer a Democrat. The Democrat Party is all about pushing gay agenda, trans agenda, removing the criminal laws for pedophilia. It's not about just giving welfare to black people, which is really what everybody who claims to be a Democrat signed up for. Everybody I meet who's white or who's a black Democrat, the only reason why they call themselves card-carrying Democrats is because of the welfare that they remember when they were a kid in the 70s, government cheese, food stamps, what is it? A welfare check of however few $100s a month, Section 8. Those are things that the Democrats used to do. So anyone who feels empathy for black people and feel black people are too pathetic to support themselves and take care of themselves, and they need the government to feed them, or they would die because of slavery hundreds of years ago and oppression and systematic redlining. They can throw any buzz keyword at you. Magically, the racism and oppression didn't stop him from succeeding, didn't stop these guys, didn't stop really anyone, except for people who are losers who want to pretend that all of their problems come from white people who they've never met. The same people that told me that there was a white man with an M16 in front of their house door that told them they can't go out during lockdown. I saw no such white man. I never locked down. I never sheltered in place. I did what I wanted to do. And guess who was on the internet telling me that I'm going to die from the air if I get on an airplane or if I go to Vegas and party in the middle of the summer 2020? A bunch of gays and a bunch of black people. So Snoop did the right thing by ignoring them and doing what he knew to be the smart thing. Trump pardoning Harry Yo was a huge deal. The 49-year-old hip hop icon. So this is, how many years ago is this article from? This is 2021. So he was 49 about 4 years ago, January. Yeah, so 4 years ago, exactly. So he's 53 now. The 53-year-old hip-hop icon praised Trump in his final hours in the White House for commuting the sentence of Death Row Records co-founder Michael Harry O. Harris, who has served 30 years of a 25-year-to-life sentence for conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. Apparently, Harry O. had an issue with his nephew, It wasn't even over drugs and, you know, this and this. It was over, I think, some kind of familial issue. But he was also known to be in a certain lifestyle, which is where he had the funds to, so, you know, start death row and pay the artists. Trump also issued 73 other pardons and commuted 70 sentences early Wednesday as he prepared to leave office. Harris learned Tuesday he was amongst those who would be released early from prison, which is amazing. Snoop literally changed his entire stance on Donald Trump that day 3 years ago. I love what he did. I love what he did. Did Barack, who was president for 8 years while Harry O sat in prison all the time, did Barack commute those sentences? No, because Barack is not a black. He's not from the United States. His parents aren't from the U. His dad is not a black American. His mom's not a black American. So what is this loyalty thinking that you can't think Obama was definitely going to do more for black Americans than Trump? Trump's an actual American. He literally runs an America First campaign. It's all about America First. So we've come, like I said, we came a long way. I stopped listening to Snoop over Trump. I just didn't like it because it just didn't make any sense to me. And anybody who's against Trump is against my country. My home city of Los Angeles is in the United States. So there's no way I can be pro LA and pro this and pro that, but I'm not pro America. I'm not America First. It wouldn't make any sense. And again, they're not Democrats. Snoop and these other successful people are not Democrats. The only people who are Democrats are those at the very bottom because they want the handouts from Big Daddy government. They want the free stuff in exchange for freedom, and they don't care at what cost. Do you know how much of a leader, how much of a strong man, how much of a fucking fearless person you have to be in Snoop's position? He doesn't give a fuck about his black base. Snoop is an international artist. The black population doesn't even buy music anyway. Snoop is worried about tomorrow. And there are people in the comments literally destroying him and saying stuff about him, but who cares about them? A bunch of gays and a bunch of black people who are disgruntled. Who gives a fuck? If anything has shown us with the mandate that we won in November, a couple of months ago, you ignore the base of the Democrat Party, which is only blacks and gays. There's nobody else in that base. That's it. Those are two groups that you can literally do without and move forward in the country. You don't have to interact with them. You don't got to deal with them. They're not really in the workforce. They're not doing business. They're activists. They're angry. They're not necessarily contributing anything for the most part, except anger and literally being used by the World Economic Forum to make up all these protests and try to strip the country down brick by brick. You talk about systematic. They're literally trying to bring down the country they live in while they live in it. It's like Cameron Diaz when she crashed a car with Tom Cruise in it while she's driving it too. That's why you just have to ignore them. It's a mental illness to still talk about you're being discriminated against. And there's people from every race and every walk of life in every country living in the United States. Magically, these issues only affect you. And not all of you, just those of you who seem to just happen to make really poor decisions in life and are at the bottom. So people like Snoop who make better decisions and who are strategic and who are adults, they're not worried about all that nonsense and all that cult bullshit. Oh, you're a part of my cult. Biden, Harris. So you want him to be a fucking idiot? You want him to be a complete moron and literally support nothing? What the hell's wrong with you? That's not going to happen at all. So I'm glad that these Black American, these patriotic artists are performing at Trump events. I'm happy to see it. We came a long way from, people like Snoop having nothing but horrible and negative things to say about Trump and Trump supporters and, anybody who is basically a normal American who loves where they're from and wants to protect where they're from. You got to think about it. Snoop's from a gang too. Gangs literally kill people over territory, trying to protect where they're from. Right now, these black gangs are getting the dog shit beat out of them and literally wiped off the map by gangs of illegals that are now in this country taking over Long Beach, Compton, Chicago, Detroit. They're pushing them out. They're wiping them out. There's whole high schools that are having all their African-American males are literally being wiped out in wars versus Hispanic gangs, or basically gangs with illegals in them. People don't talk about that because it's not mainstream, but it's what's happening. It's the truth. I'm from LA. I've seen it. I went to Gar High School. I know what happened at Artesia High School. I know what was going on with all those, with the wars and the run-ins, and I know who they are. So I mean, look at what people are already saying. Snoop Dogg betrayal. Who did he betray?
Hold on to your hats. Snoop Dogg is reportedly set to perform at Trump's inaugural crypto, and it's causing chaos in the black community. Fans are fuming over this.
Isn't the black community already in chaos? Aren't they the only community that is constant chaos? When has there ever been peace, prosperity, tranquility in the black community? When has there not been just chaos and confusion? Snoop removed himself from that bullshit. You should congratulate him. Let them and the gays sit around and pout and whatever they do with each other. I mean, let them do it themselves.
Comments pouring in, calling it a major betrayal. Just months ago, Snoop was openly blasting any black artist who even looked at performing for Trump, labeling them as Uncle Toms.
Uncle Tom, you know, technically, if you read Uncle Tom's Cabin, to be called an Uncle Tom for a black person is actually a compliment. It's not an insult. Unless you're an illiterate idiot who never read the book, then you're not going to understand the context, and you're going to think that being an Uncle Tom was a bad thing. Oh, that's DoorDash. Hello? Hello? I wouldn't have been able to make an order without an address, sir. There's no complex. It's a house. Just bring it to the house address. That's the only address I put down. Yep, just bring it to the house address. Bring it to the front door. That's all you got to do. We good? Yeah, no, just the regular address. There's no unit number or nothing. It's just a house. Okay, thank you. Jesus Christ. But at least he could communicate.
But after a surprising turnaround, feeling nothing but love and respect for Trump, thanks to some generous clemency grants, Snoop is now stepping into the spotlight for this controversial.
You see what they said? Clemency grants is what changed his opinion. What people don't understand about politics is that it's a negotiation. Unfortunately, a lot of people are idiots and they think it's a high school popularity contest for prom king and queen. Oh, I like this person. It's not about who the fuck you like. It's about who's going to offer you what. Snoop asked for clemency in return for his loyalty. If you look at what the Democrats, black people wanted to have crime decriminalized so that they could do as much shoplifting as they want with lowering the arrest. The Democrats gave that to them. That was the compromise. Gay people wanted to have sex with underage kids decriminalized in California for their support for the Democrat Party. They received that, and that's how they got the support, and that's why they support the Democrats in California. Everybody asks for something in their compromise. What Snoop wanted was clemency. He got that, and now that was a part of the negotiation, and now look, he's over here on the right, and he's actually supporting Trump. Even if he says he's not, you're performing at a Trump rally, a Trump event meant for Trump people and his supporters. So, you know, you can claim what you want, but he went against the grain, and I respect him for that. I'm proud of him, and I will be back listening to Snoop. It's, you know, I wasn't dealing with him. I wasn't even messing with anything he was doing, but now I have to. I'm just impressed to go against everybody around you because it's the right thing to do, that means you're ignoring them. That means you're not a follower. You're not a weak man, a beta. You're an actual smart, strong person, which it takes a lot, you know. So congratulations to Snoop. Congratulations to Trump. America first. MAGA. And I'm looking forward to Trump's inauguration on the 20th. I'll be back. I just ordered some DoorDash. Gonna eat some fruit. Probably play a little Call of Duty. It's the middle of the night. So I took a nap, and then I'll be back on in maybe about an hour. So thank you, and I'll see you guys in a bit.
I've been looking for an apartment, but I have horrible credit. Cosigning.com helps you get a cosigner that helps you out to get your dream apartment. Don't let your horrible credit get you down. Cosigning.com has changed the game. I got a cosigner quick and easy. I couldn't have asked for a better service.